The girl just touched her head. Unexpectedly, the giant beast in South Korea touched its head at the same time. At first, the girl thought it might be a coincidence. But when she opened a Seoul website to watch the playback, she found that the giant beast's movements were exactly the same as hers. To verify her suspicion, Annie quickly went to the park and stretched out her hand. Then she rushed home to check the live footage of the Korean giant beast on TV. Sure enough, the giant beast mimicked her movements precisely. To further confirm her theory, Annie brought a few friends to the park. She asked them to sit on benches and use their phones to access the Seoul website to observe the beast. After Annie danced in the park, the Korean giant beast also danced in a strange way. It seemed that the giant beast was Annie. Annie was the giant beast. Her friends were shocked to find that there was also some connection between Annie's physical sensations and the beast. When the Korean giant beast was attacked by a missile, Annie suddenly felt a sharp pain in her waist. In pain, she performed a set of Chinese kung fu moves right there in the park. As a result, the Korean giant beast performed the same moves and ended up smashing a helicopter. Just as her friends were still in shock, Annie shifted her weight from her left foot to her right and accidentally fell headfirst to the ground. But because of her fall, several high-rise buildings in Seoul collapsed, and hundreds of people lost their lives. To prevent further panic among the Korean people, Annie returned to the park once more and tried to apologize. First, she pointed to the ground, then motioned for the people below to evacuate. After confirming the area beneath her was safe, she slowly squatted down and wrote "I'm sorry" on the ground with her finger. She promised never to appear again and begged the people not to panic. Moved by her apology, the citizens gave her a thumbs up. From then on, Annie kept her promise and stayed away from the park. She believed the danger had passed. However, one morning, she woke up to find a giant robot rampaging through the streets of South Korea. Realizing something was wrong, Annie rushed to the park again. There, she saw her friend playing around, and even provocatively challenging Annie to a duel. The girl pointed to the side. The Korean beast mirrored the gesture. Annie warned her friend to leave the park immediately, but she didn't listen. Furious, Annie slapped the robot, and the Korean beast did the same. Ironically, the beast's heroic move against the robot boosted its popularity. People praised it online, even creating meme videos and sharing them across the internet. Unfortunately, this incident deeply embarrassed Oscar, who felt he'd lost all dignity. Determined to restore his pride, he called Annie early the next morning and challenged her to a duel. Annie didn't plan to show mercy, but she was still just a young woman and no match for Oscar. After only a few rounds, she was knocked to the ground, unable to move. As Oscar stomped around in rage, Annie realized that if he kept going, all of Korea could be destroyed. Desperate to stop him, Annie devised a bold plan. Without saying a word, she bought a plane ticket and flew to Korea. Back in the park, Oscar was still having fun, unaware that danger was near. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble. Before Oscar could react, the giant beast in Korea stood in front of him. It turned out Annie had used a specific alignment of positions to teleport the beast from the US to Korea. Oscar panicked and tried to run, but Annie caught him. Even in the face of defeat, Oscar refused to apologize and continued cursing her. Furious, Annie hurled him into the sky. As Oscar disappeared into the distance, the ridiculous farce finally came to an end.